Hi friends, it's Tammy from Sonoran Bling, where I highlight all the beauty and bling that the desert brings. The background though looks a little bit different, and I'm really excited about this video because I get to combine two of my hobbies. If you subscribe to my channel already, you know how much I love my hummingbirds. But something you may not know about me is also my love of tabletop gaming. My husband and I, we attend board game conventions pretty regularly and also have friends over pretty regularly to get a good game day in. So one night while mindlessly scrolling on social media, something stopped me in my tracks. And what I clicked on was Hover, a brutal game of hummingbirds. So I immediately backed it up on Kickstarter. It is by Ibis Games, and it is a 2 to 4 player game. It takes about 30 to 60 minutes to play, and it's best for ages 10 and up. The artwork alone was enough to stop me in my tracks. The artist, Shauna did an amazing job really referencing and studying these birds to get the right poses to capture the personality of each bird, and it's stunning. This video is going to be a 2-part series. In this video, we'll open up the box, go through the game pieces and some of the gameplay. Then, in my second video, we're gonna sit down and actually play this brutal game of hummingbirds. So, time to check out Hover by Ibis Games, a brutal game of hummingbirds. But let's open up Hover, a brutal game of hummingbirds by Ibis Games. And immediately you're greeted and a reminder at just how sweet and innocent little fighter birds are. Here is the board itself, opens up to reveal 2-player game, which has the empty center, and also your 3 to 4 player game. Your board that have the different areas that you can acquire resources and nectar. Each player then gets a privacy screen. And these privacy screens are amazing because they, like if you're in a forest, player gets their privacy screen and it goes along with their player board, which is also color coordinated. And the player board has the actual area where you are going to build your nest, and also a beauty tracker to keep track of your beauty, and that comes in handy with courting and attacking. Then also you have these adorable little hummingbird meeples, and these are your player pieces to move around, and they are just too cute. Now this flower is for the 2-player game. It goes in the center on the other side. In the 3 to 4 player game, the garden, they each get some of these flowers that you place down. These flowers give you a +2 energy. When they are used, flip over to reveal that it's been used. It isn't until the very next turn and nobody is in the garden area that these flowers refill and flip back over. You also get these field cards, and these field cards give you different advantages. There's an eat fly, you get +2 energy, which is pretty powerful. There's loud chirps, +2 to attack or defense, and +1 to your courting call or distraction. You also get a burst, and that is a play on your turn only. So some of these cards you have to be careful because these field cards you can play at any time, and it does not take an action to play these cards. You get an unfazed, which gives you a +4 to defense. You have dodge. So there's lots of different cards in here, all with adorable artwork, and they give you different advantages. You can only have 3 of these field cards in your hand. On your player board, each player also gets their corresponding tracker. And this beauty tracker will sit in here and it will move up. Now to acquire the beauty, it is a 1-to-1 ratio. So spend 1 energy, move it up 1, then I'd have to spend 2 energy to move it up to the 2, and 3 energy to move it up to 3, and so forth, all the way up to 5. In the game, you also get a performance dice. Now this dice helps with your courting. The player will roll it to reveal, and it is at a 0. On this dice, there's a 1, a -1, there's also a 2, and as we saw, there's a couple of zeros on there too. You also get 40 of these nectar or energy cubes, and this is basically the currency. Use it for the bidding in the games. The energy, you can only have 10 in your hand. You also get 20 of these lichen tokens. What is lichen? Well, lichen in nature helps to protect nests, and the same in the game. So the lichen you can place on your nest. You spend an energy to place the lichen on your nest, and what the lichen does, it helps to deter other players from stealing your resources. Let's get to those resources. There are sticks and spider webs, and you get 10 each. So the sticks and spider webs are what the resources that you need. 2 sticks and 2 spider webs are needed to build a successful nest on your player board. Let's get to the beautiful components themselves. Just look at the beautiful artwork, and each bird has a different advantage. What I love about these cards is when you flip it, you get to reveal some wonderful facts about each bird. And that is just so incredible as you get to learn as you play. And each bird has a different advantage. For an example, this Allen's hummingbird, it is loud, so you get +1 to the attack or defense. Born Beautiful may increase beauty in any area. So with the Annas, you don't have to be in your player perch or your nest to acquire on the beauty tracker. You can be anywhere. Broad-tailed is a forest expert, so he would get +1 area action in the forest. And you may hold 2 items, which that is a pretty powerful card as well. And then you also get these 2 quick guides. So these help you just with the actual actions of the game, how to attack, how to court, a reminder about the energy, and just some other rules of the game. These are all the components that you get when you purchase Hover through Kickstarter. If backed on Kickstarter, Ibis Games will throw in a 20% off discount and even more bird cards to enjoy. The objective of Hover is to be the first player to build a nest and also complete a successful courting call. The setup of Hover is a little bit different, where you take your player privacy screen with your player board, and it has these attachments on the top. All you have to do is just slide the little connections down to get it to seat, and then press that down so it's nice and flush. And now you have a little perch for your hummingbird. So adorable. Then you take your beauty track marker, place it on 0. Each player gets to choose between 2 cards, and you choose 1. My hummingbird will go in front of me. Each turn, you get 2 actions. Now your actions include a move action, which would be to an adjacent area, either the forest or the field would be adjacent. Players' nests are adjacent. They are home. So I cannot go to either player's nest when they are home. It's not until they are away from their nest that I may go into their nest on top of their perch and possibly steal some items to take away from them. That is where the brutal cutthroat game of Hover starts. Actions to take are the area actions. In the field, the blue player either get a +1 energy, or they would spend their energy to acquire the field cards. And remember, these field cards are pretty powerful. Another action is the attacking phase. I was keeping my eye on that blue player, and they just acquired some energy, and they have a spider web. I want to attack them, so I'm going to move into the same area, announce that I am taking that action to attack them. What happens is the defense power is determined between the energy spent and the mark on the beauty tracker. So each player, the defender and the attacker, both choose how much energy they are willing to give up during this attacking phase. Hold out your hands and simultaneously reveal. Oh, the defender only has 3 +1 on their beauty track. I have 4 +1. The attacker wins. And the energy is spent. When the attacker wins, if the bird is carrying an item, I gain that item. I stole it from them. The defender has to move out of that area. The attacker also, as a reward, beneficial field card, and I also get to take that area action. And the feeder gives me +3 back to put behind my privacy screen. If the roles were reversed, let's say the defender one. So what happens is my attacking bird moves out of the area, the defender keeps their item, and they get the very beneficial field card. The only difference is they do not get that action of the area because they were already there and they took it already. During the attacking phase, if there is a tie, then nothing happens and the energy is spent. We talked about the objective of Hover of building your nest. Well, where do you get those resources? I decide to go to the forest. I have to spend an energy to gain one spider web. Now, important to note, I wish I could just put it right on my player board, but that's not the case in Hover. The gained item goes on the beak of your hummingbird meatball. And it isn't until my next turn that I can move back up to my perch, spend an action to place my spider web in my nest. Now, my nest is starting to become built. I would have to go back to the forest, spend 2 energy to acquire 1 stick. I wanted to protect that spider web and had some lichen. Now remember, the lichen doesn't allow other players to remove your items. They have to remove the lichen first, so it deters players from stealing from your nest. So in that example, let's say I have my spider web and my lichen, and I just acquired my little stick. I'm gonna come back to my nest, to my perch. When I place the stick, guess what? The lichen goes away. So it is temporary. It wouldn't be until I am again at my perch and I spend the action of the nest of your perch, spend 1 energy to place 1 lichen. Now, it is important to note that other players can, like I said, come to my player board. My goods are very enticing. So they would have to remove that lichen and for 1 action, and then they would spend another action to remove a resource. If the player is at their perch, players cannot steal from them. It is awesome that you can kind of fly around and visit other nests, steal from other players, which makes it a lot of fun. Remember, for the objective of Hover is to build a nest, but also perform a successful hoarding call. And how you do that, you must have a completed nest because you have to have a place to invite the ladies back to, right? So once you have your completed nest, you announce that you are going to court. I would have to spend any amount of energy, 1 to 5. The other players can do any amount and their total combined. I have 5 behind my player screen that I'm going to show, and my beauty tracker is at 3. I'm feeling pretty good. What I would do is also roll the performance dice. So I would roll my performance dice. It gives me a -1. No! So -1. The other players, they could possibly, court the love of my life and distract her with their combined total. So depending on what their combined total of just their energy spent for the 8, or sorry, -1, so it would be 7. Oh, even worse. So my 7, let's say they had 5 combined, and so I would win. If they had 8 total together, I would lose. And the game would continue. Hoarding in a 2-player game is a bit different. It is the energy plus beauty tracker and the die for the quarter. The other player, they also get the energy plus their beauty tracker. A few things about the player perch and the nest. You cannot enter another player's nest if they are home. You cannot attack a player in their nest. However, they can attack you. May take area actions at your own nest even if a player is present. So I could still take my 2 actions, maybe a -1 to gain more lichen, to play, or to increase my beauty track by 1. I'm really impressed with all of the pieces of Hover. It is a lot of fun to play. It makes you feel kind of like you're flying around, visiting the different perches. You're up on a tree. I love the secret information of the privacy screen mixed with the public information of your resources and your beauty tracker on top for other players to kind of keep watch on each other. It's so adorable how the players' pieces, you have to carry them. It really makes you feel like you are playing as your hummingbird. Ordered on Kickstarter, remember a 20% off, plus you get additional bird cards to enjoy, even more artwork, and even more facts about some of these beautiful birds. It is really a special game, very well done. Thank you, Ibis Games, for allowing me to highlight and showcase your beautiful, beautiful game. Appreciate everybody watching, and until next time, happy birding and happy gaming.